Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about my most anticipated new releases from August until October. So I missed out in July because I didn't make a new releases video. So I'm not going to go over July releases that I'm looking forward to just because July has been and gone at this point. So I'm going to tell you about the 25 or so new releases that I'm looking forward to coming out in the next couple of months. I have to say though, I am surprised at the lack of anticipated releases for me that are coming out in the last half of the year. I thought there would be way more because there normally is, but there really aren't too many this time around. So I don't know if more books have been pushed to 2022 or what's been going on, but there are quite a few books still that I am looking forward to, so let's get into those. First of all, we're starting in August, and I don't know if any of these have been pushed, I haven't double checked, but when I researched these books they were coming out in August. First one is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This one I think is coming out on the 6th of August and I am so excited. This is the third book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. It's a YA thriller series set in my county in the UK and I love it so much, so I can't wait for this one to come out. I have pre-ordered it in several different places, so I will be getting my hands on it on release day. Then we have The Wolf's Curse, which is a middle grade book. This one is about a boy who saw a wolf steal his granddad's soul, and he told people about this and they thought he was making stuff up, so they all start telling him off, coming after him, and so he has to pair up with an orphan boy and prove that he was correct, there is a wolf out there who is stealing souls. The next one I wanted to mention is called Where the Truth Lies. This one is a thriller book. I'm not sure if it's adult or YA to be honest, but this is about a 17-year-old girl called Abby who goes missing. So she and her best friend, whose name is Emma I believe, they're at a party in the woods and Abigail goes missing and Emma wants to find out what happened to her. Because this is set in a small town, the investigation causes an uproar. I'm sure there are some small town secrets that are going to come out and I cannot wait. Small town secrets are one of my favourite things in thrillers, so I'm really looking forward to this one. The next one is called The Guilt Trip, which is another thriller. This one is set in Portugal and it's about 6 friends who go over to Portugal, I think for a wedding or perhaps for a hen, and I believe drama ensues. There's not really much more I want to look up about this one or say about it because I like to go into thrillers not knowing anything. I just really like the idea of a destination wedding going wrong. Then there is How We Fall Apart. This one is a YA thriller. This is about students who go to an elite prep school and the tagline says that they are forced to confront their secrets when their ex-best friend shows up dead. Cannot wait to read this one. It's going to be so dramatic and I'm thinking about pairing it with Ace of Spades and doing a reading vlog on it because they both have similar vibes for me. The next one is called The Family Plot. This one is about a very secluded family who are obsessed with true crime. Their patriarch dies and they go to bury him, but then they find a body in the burial sites. So there's a body already in the guy's grave. I think some family hijinks are going to ensue. There's family secrets involved here and I cannot wait to read it. Next we have The Women of Troy, which is by the author of Silence of the Girls, which I haven't read yet. I did borrow it from a friend and I still haven't read it, but it's a Greek mythology retelling kind of thing and I'm looking forward to it. The next one is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a horror book. I don't know much about it because I'm trying not to look too much into it just in case it spoils the plot, but this is about a woman who is obsessed with horror films, and since she's the main character in a horror book I imagine all of her knowledge is going to come in handy. I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. I'm going to hopefully be doing a project where I read his most popular books and decide which one is best. Then we have Ghost Girl, which is another middle grade book. This one is about a girl who can see ghosts and she admits this and then I think she gets bullied about it, and I don't know if she needs to team up with the ghost to do something or other, but I'm looking forward to reading this. I followed the author on Twitter and she seems like a lovely person. The next one is called Mark of the Wicked. This one is a YA book about witches. So in this one the main character is accused of using dark magic and she has to clear her name. Now we're moving on to September. Sorry if I'm rushing through these, I just have a lot to cover so I don't want to spend ages discussing each one. First of all we have White Smoke, which is Tiffany D. Jackson's newest release. I think this one might be a horror thriller book. I don't know much about it at all, but I am doing a Tiffany D. Jackson reading project where I read all of her backlist and this book and I decide which one is best. I've done this for a few different authors so far. I've done Kristen Hannah Ruth Ware and Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm really excited to be branching out into YA and into some horror books. Anyway, the next book is called Iron Widow. This one is a sci-fi book about a young woman who initially offers herself up as a concubine pilot in order to get revenge, and she does so. She manages to kill this guy really quickly and then other people start to take notice and she starts to get a reputation. I believe things escalate from there. I love the cover of this one. I cannot wait to read it. Next we have Rock Paper Scissors. This one is an adult thriller. This one is about a married couple. They go on a weekend away in Scotland. The main character has face blindness, which means he doesn't recognize faces, even the face of his wife, and that's all I've read from the synopsis, but that sounds really creepy and it leads me to believe that maybe the wife is going to be involved in the thriller side of things somehow. I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait. The next one I don't really know anything about. I just really like the cover, and that is The Colour of Thunder. All I know about it is that it follows the life of 6 people in Hong Kong, which isn't a setting I have read before. So I'm going to get my hands on this one. Next, we have The Hawthorne Legacy. This is the sequel to the Inheritance games, which I really enjoyed. It's a YA thriller about a girl who inherits a ton of money and a mansion from this old guy, and she doesn't know why, because she's not related to this man in any way. In order to get her inheritance, she has to move into the mansion with the guy's grandsons, like actual kin. She has to take part in some games. I've done a full review on it. I will link it up above in case you want to go and check it out. I'm really looking forward to this sequel. I'm expecting it to be really fast paced and just a ton of fun. I really enjoy Jen Finlin Barnes's writing. Then we have The Missing Hours. This one I am mostly into because of the cover. I really enjoy this style for some reason. I think this one sounds more like a new adult book. It's about a woman who is a college freshman and she goes missing. That's all I want to know about it. I'm looking forward to reading it. Next we have Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This is by the author of The House on the Cerulean Sea, which I really enjoyed. I don't think I gave it 5 stars at the time, but I think if I were to reread it, I probably would. I do have an advanced reader's copy of this one. I cannot wait to get to it. I'm going to read it in August. Honestly, it's going to be so good. I don't even know what it's about. I think it's about a man who dies and then gets escorted into the afterlife, I guess, by another guy, and I don't know if they're kind of going to start a romance, if they're going to be into each other, or if they're going to become best friends, or what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be really heartwarming and lovely, just like his previous book. And then we have a few books for October. October didn't really seem to be a very busy release month in terms of things that I would enjoy, but maybe there will be more come October, and I can do another video on new releases talking about October to December books, because this is kind of sparse. So first of all, we have Blackbirds in the Sky. This is a non-fiction about the Tulsa Race Massacre. I honestly know nothing about the Tulsa Race Massacre. I think it happened in the 1920s in the USA, and it's not something I've ever been taught about. I've seen it mentioned a couple of times, but not really in any sort of context. I've just seen it brought up perhaps on Reddit and social media. So it is something that I really want to look into, and this book seems perfect for that, so I'm going to get my hands on this one. Next we have City of Shattered Light. This one is about an heiress and an outlaw, and they have to decide whether to work together or to save themselves. That's all I know about it. I really like the cover of this one as well, so I'm looking forward to reading it at some point. Then we have Femlandia. This is by the author of Vox. It's about a mother and daughter who head towards a women's only colony, and I think it's kind of in the same vein as that other book where women were ruling the world. I think in this one it's kind of a similar thing. It's going to be kind of like what would happen if women were in charge. I'm looking forward to reading this one. I've seen some mixed reviews on Goodreads, and some of the reviews were quite worrying, I think, in terms of the themes in this one, but I'm looking forward to reading it and I think it should be good. And finally we have The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. This is by the author of The Luminous Dead, which I did enjoy. It wasn't an amazing book by any means in my opinion, but I'm looking forward to reading this book. So this one is a gothic horror book, I think, and the main character is trying to find a husband who will let her stay independent. This guy agrees to marry her, but his only kind of thing is that she can't visit the family home. She has to do so because of various things. I think there's a storm or something, and then she comes across her husband who isn't acting like himself. The next day he's acting completely normal, so she wants to look into what the hell was happening that night and why she isn't supposed to be in this mansion in the first place. I think this one sounds kind of creepy, and I'm really looking forward to it. So those are all the books I'm looking forward to reading in the next 3 months or so. Like I said, come October I will probably do another of these videos with more new releases, because I'm a bit worried that some haven't been announced yet and I just can't find them. So perhaps there'll be more new releases for me to gush about. But for now, I think these will keep me plenty busy. I'm not expecting to read all of these in the coming months, but there are a few that I definitely will be reading that I have my eye on. Let me know if you're excited for any of these in the comments below. If there are any that I've missed out, please tell me about them. I would love to check out some more new releases. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye!